Hello and welcome back to another tutorial on jsPsych. Today we're going to be talking about creating factorial designs for your experiment. So this is a simple reaction time task. So there isn't anything that you will want to change in terms of variables unless you're interested in the duration of the trial. For example, trial duration, it is set at 500 milliseconds, but let's say you want to set it at different intervals. What you might think of is setting it over here, set trial duration. And then you might want to do that for another one. You can do it for the orange trial as well. That's okay if you have only two labels for each variable or factor. But let's say you have a lot of levels and a lot of factors. This is not going to be a optimal way or best practice of writing the trial stimuli or the different combinations of factors or levels. So let's delete this part first. So what might be a better way to write this down? So we can use a function called factorial in randomization. Factorial. So what it does is it takes the factors so that it generates the factors and you repeat it as many times as you want. So right now we don't have the factors yet, and we're going to create those factors. So var factors, it's going to be an object. So we have the stimulus, an array. We're going to take this, the blue image, and then the orange image. So that's our stimulus, the factor one. This is factor one. And then we are going to create a second factor. So trial duration. So this is factor two. So we can set it at 500 milliseconds, or let's set it at shorter interval so you can see the difference. So 300 milliseconds versus 1 second. So then we have our factor, and then we're going to create the full design. So full design. Oops. And we're going to repeat one time. So once we have it, we will see how it looks like. So let's not run everything. Let's okay, let's just run a welcome block and let's console log. Let's log this to the welcome screen just to show you how it looks like. So welcome data on finish, I want to console log. So we can see how the structure of the design looks like, and we can compare it to what we have right now, which is over here. So I'm going to run it. So there is an error, I guess. Oh. Okay. Let's see what went wrong. Okay, let's close everything. Oops, we have the comma. So that's the error there, I guess. So finish, console log. Remember to put the semicolon. Let's refresh the screen. So it logs after we finish. So on finish, it's gonna log the full design. So we can test. And you see that right now it contains the trial duration and the stimulus. So let's see if I can copy this. No, so I can't copy that. So I'm gonna show you over here. So it's stimulus. We have the image one, and then we have the trial duration, and then we have the time. So this is how it looks like. Image one, image one, time two. So it's similar to what we have over here when you put a trial duration. But what's still missing here is the data and the screen ID. So we need to populate that into the entire Factorial design. So you have to keep this in mind. You have to put all this inside the design. So what we can do here is to use a loop. So it's for loop for every of this stimulus, every element here, we're going to populate this based on the picture. So if you have not come across for loop, it's for looping every element in a data in an array or in an object in an array like this. So you're going to go through one by one. So we're going to set the iterator or var it's convention to use I. So for I equals 0, so for each row, that's for I equals 0. You start on row 1, row 0. For I is less than the length of the full design. Because the length of full design is 4, but it starts from 0. So we have to put it less. So we use less. If you use equal, it's going to include 1 to 4, 0 to 4, I mean. Full design dot length. And we're gonna, what happens after every row is iterated? We're gonna add the continue on. So from 0, next one will be 1. And then what we have to do here is, if the image is blue, need to set stimulus data stimulus to blue and correct response equals 37. If image is blue, then stimulus equals blue. So this is the logic behind. So if it's orange, so we have blue and orange. So if orange, stimulus is orange, response is 39. So this is what we're going to do for every one of the rows. If something, then this is, if the condition is here, then stimulus. So this is if blue, else. So we have only 2. So if orange, we don't have to put else if, because we only have 2. So else, then stimulus equals orange, and response equals 39. So we have the logic behind the frame of the for loop and the if statement. So if full design, we're going to get the row number. So for that row number in the iterator, so it's I, full design. So we want to know if the stimulus is, if it's blue, so image slash blue dot png. If it's blue, then we have to set the full design I dot data equals to screen ID trial stimulus blue correct response 37. So this full design dot data is this whole part of the object that we want. So this whole set. So else if it's not blue, then it should be orange because we have two. So full design I dot data equals screen ID trial stimulus will be orange correct response 39. And then we can close the loop. So this should give us this, the trial duration 300. Let me set this in first. This should give us the same thing that we have if we do it by hand. Or if you want, you can, let's see if we, yeah, let's keep it simple for I. Okay, so we have our full design here. So let's test it again. So it seems that it's not working. Let's see what's happening. So we have our let's close this. Full design I. Yes, that should be correct. Dots. Do we have to? Yes, STIM stimulus equals to blue. Let's just debug. I have no idea where that went wrong. Console.log. So let's refresh the screen. 2 errors. Unexpected token in experimental.js 966. So it's not this problem, but here. So, It's not a comma, semicolon. So let's refresh and see. Okay. So we have trial duration and our data. So it looks like we have everything correct. I'm gonna copy this and show you the how it looks like compared to the one if we do it with hand. So we have the stimulus, and then we have the trial duration, and the data contains the trial, the stimulus, and the correct response. It's not clear. Yes, so data contains 3 items. So it seems like we have everything in place in the same way as the trial stimuli. So we have the full design right now. So what we can do is to find anything that has trial stimuli and then put it to full design. So let's set factorial design. And after that, we need to change the trial duration here to jsPsych.timeline variable .timeline. So it's going to get the trial duration from the timeline variable. See if we spell it correctly. Yep, it's correct. So we have factor 2. Let's say you have another factor that you want to investigate, like ITI, if you have ITI. So it's going to be the intertrial interval or the over here. Let's say it's going to be a factorial design rather than a random variable that you're not interested in. We can also do it the same way. No, let's say we want the fixation point instead. So fixation duration. And you can also do it the same way. So 300, 1000. Remember to put the comma here. So this is factor 3. So it's the same way as you as doing the second populating other factors, and you just have to add one more line. So there we go. So today we learned how to create a factorial design in jsPsych. So that's it for today's tutorial, and stay tuned for more episodes on jsPsych.